And we are starting. So hi, this is Brit-Simone with Organic Living Diva. So glad to have you here today, and I'm very pleased to have a very special guest with us. Her name is Brenda Murphy, and she has a very incredible, powerful story of transformation. I know I've said that last time with our other special guests, but these stories are for real. You do have the power within you to totally change your life, and it's such a blessing to have you here, Brenda. I am going to leave it up to you because this is a very, very interesting story of I guess you could say a near-death experience with your internal system and how you can transform beyond that and take care of yourself naturally. So please do take it away. Let us know who you are, where you're from, your history, and what has happened that was a major hurdle in your life that made you think and rethink about absolutely everything and redirect your choices. So take it away.
Boy, that's really the bottom line truth there, Brit-Simone. Thank you so much. Talk about flip your life upside down and rip the carpet out at the same time.
Yeah. Yes, I would say.
Thank you for having me on. It's really become a point in my life where I give back information, and this is all a part of it, is this 4-year journey here. So to start out, I was going about my life just like everybody else does, as busy can get, and can't fit in another inch of anything. And worked for the Postal Service on a high level, and had over 100 employees, top stress, the highest stress. And of course, with that, you're not sleeping well and you're not eating well, and you tend to gain weight. And so I got myself up to 186 pounds, which for someone 5'9", from top to bottom isn't so bad if you can carry it. So I realized that I had gotten, that much weight on me. But it was really stress and not sleeping and not eating right and getting ready to retire. And so I decided I would take an early out in January of 2014. And so I took an early out from my career and just got myself not even settled, but just warming up for this retirement after 30 years.
Yeah.
So when I decided, well, it's October, I think I will go do that mammogram thing. And hadn't done it for a couple of years. And I thought, well, a couple of years, not much is going to happen. So I went and did the mammogram, and I got a call back. And I thought, well, I get callbacks all the time. I got fibrous breasts, so, whatever. Well, I get a call back on my way up to a Nerium convention, the regionals. And I'm like, okay. And Dennis Windsor was speaking and everything. So I was all dressed to the nines, and here I am sitting and talking to a doctor that's saying, you have between 4 to 6 months left to live.
Wow.
Wait a minute, I'm on my way up to a speaker tonight. I'm dressed up. You can't tell me this information. So yeah, it was like hitting a concrete wall going 80, on your bicycle, not even airbags, And so it really set me back. Of course I didn't go because I was devastated. And the place that I was attending, the announcement, isn't exactly a people-friendly place. And so they basically cart you in, tell you what they want, and if you don't opt for it, they just shoo you back out. So I kind of shooed myself back out because I knew that chemotherapy, radiation, and surgery were not an option for me because I don't handle drugs very, very well.
Okay.
Drugs mess you up anyway, in my opinion. And so Danette Green my friend was sitting there with me. And when I got the news of that, if you don't do this standard treatments, you will die within 4 to 6 months. And I thought, well, I'm going to have a good 4 to 6 months because I feel fine anyway. So I'm just going to enjoy life for 6 months. And then when I went home that night, I said, well, who is this that can tell me how long I have to live? And that's what just set me, that caused an immediate U-turn in my life. Because a human being sitting there arrogantly telling you that you only have a certain amount of months is like you can tell me this. And so that was really the thrust to change my whole life, was someone telling me that I was going to die. And so I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew I wasn't going to do chemo, radiation, or surgery. I knew that. And I knew enough to know that that only has a 2 to 10% survival rate after 5 years. So I wanted to live longer than that, though I didn't know what I was going to do.
Okay.
So I went home that night and I called a couple friends, and they came over the next day and cleaned my house out of all toxins, cleaned the refrigerator out, cleaned spices out, cleaned chemicals, cleaned fluoride toothpaste out of my life. Everything that was toxic was thrown out and left me about 2 things in my entire kitchen to eat. So,
it's an awakening.
Yeah, I thought, wow, I can't even brush my teeth. I can't wash my hair. I can't do laundry. I can't do the dishes because everything I was using was toxic.
Yep.
And I had no idea because I trusted and believed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that was the number one mistake of my life is just trusting and believing that other people have our well-being in mind, and that's wholly opposite.
Yeah. Profit first for a lot of companies.
Yeah, it's profit, greed, and then if we're forced to, we'll take a look at the human aspect out of it and the side effects of what they're doing, unless they're a good company. So anyway, cleaned out the whole house, everything. Cleaned out my whole life. Got rid of so many things that were toxic, aluminum foil, all sorts of things. And started testing my house for black mold and testing for allergens and testing my well for lead, which is a huge carcinogen, especially in that area. So found out that I was really getting hit in multiple ways by toxins because I had so much of this being in the Northwest. You've got a lot of mold, you've got toxins, you've got mycotoxins, you have all sorts of things that we have to deal with that you don't have to deal with in other climates. And so anyway, that started getting my living area clean.
Good.
Modern stuff. And so then after that, I thought, well, I wonder what else I'm going to do. I had bought all organic food, learned how to juice, learned how to what supplements were, and started taking supplements.
Okay.
So, it was really a really naive, toxic life that got me to where I had, only around 6 months to live with cancer. And so I figure I got myself into it. I can get myself back out. I just need to do pedal to the metal because I'm so far into it now,
Yep.
And, so anyway, I thought, well, I've heard a lot about Mexico. So I interviewed several doctors down in Mexico and went down to a clinic down in Mexico and did dendritic cellular therapy. And actually, my body wasn't prepared for that. So I think it would have had a lot better result if my liver was more prepared and wasn't so toxic. So I encourage people nowadays, if you're going to do clinics, make sure you got your liver cleaned out first before you try new things.
Okay.
And detox your liver. Because then you're ready to accept a treatment into your life. So went through that for 8 weeks, very, very expensive, but it did not yield what it could have yielded if I would have been prepared to go there. So I encourage people to go to Mexico, but get prepared to go there before you go.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And so did that, and then came back to Tacoma that spring and went through a clinic in Gig Harbor and with a lot of high-dose vitamin C's, a lot of immune stimulant, different types of natural remedies that kill off cancer, and did quite well for that whole year, the whole next year. The change in diet caused me to lose 54 pounds.
Wow.
That year, I lost 54 pounds. I wasn't even on a weight loss. It just
the benefits.
And you get rid of toxins in your body, which hold fat cells, bad fat cells, bad estrogen, toxins do. the weight just comes off. And so my weight loss plan wasn't the plan, it just occurred. Uh-huh. And so I got myself down to about 130-ish pounds, and I thought, okay, that's my high school weight. That's a good weight.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I'm at my welterweight high school weight.
That's fantastic. Yeah, it's incredible when you're not caging all this extra weight and this fat that is caging the toxins.
Mm-hmm.
It all just flushes right out of your system. So good for you.
Yeah. So in that couple years, I was feeling better and better and better, and I started. But the cancer was reversing, but it was reversing very slow. So it made me a little bit nervous, but it was reversing, and I was feeling so much better. So I thought, okay, let's look into a few other places to see if we can kill this thing off.
Good.
And so I had gone back down to California, went to a clinic, and that was pretty good. It got my body even more cleaned out. I think it could be. And then I started cannabis oil, medical grade cannabis oil, about a year after. And that really propelled me into this healing state, which was a surprise to me, really. And I still use it because I'm doing so well. Why not? You just sleep like a baby.
It's powerful healing in the cannabis oil.
Yes, cannabis. Yeah, the cannabinoid receptors in your body are amazing once they get cleaned out of toxins. And so I had gone through, and I got all the way till last spring. And when I was down here at Arizona, I was talking to several naturopathic clinics down here because they, in my opinion, in all my research, some of the best naturopathic clinics are down here in Arizona. And they're just a little more lenient on what they can use that isn't a part of the normal protocols in the USA. But it's a part of other protocols around the world and are working very successfully. And that's what I want to bring up, is that they're more, they just have a little more freedom to bring in from other countries what really works.
Yes.
Found out. And that's why I'm back down here early this year is, but anyway, back to last spring, I decided, 2 doctors this spring have told me if I just do take these tumors out, it'll give my body a chance to recover, restore, and kill off any stem cells floating around. So I did that last spring. I got the dead tumors, and there was a little bit of life in a couple of them, and got those removed. And yeah, that actually wasn't such a good choice for me because it did cause the circulating tumor cells in my body who you can't see.
Okay.
You can detect these, except for a DNA screening that comes out of Germany. We have nothing in the USA that can detect these stem cells. Wow. And so I sent out for a test through my naturopath to find out what was circulating, and there was a lot of cancer stem cells circulating. And we refer to cancer stem cells as recruiters, like the front line of an army.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, once you take out that mothership, the office of the military that's right in the middle of the battleground, once you pull that out, those recruiters are looking for another home. And that's what happens in your body, and that's what's called coming out of remission, is the stem cells found another home. There you go for another growth. So in my cancer quest, I learned that tumors are not the big issue of cancer unless they're pressing on something, an artery or something, or a major organ. If they're in a spot that can be protected and they're not really growing, just leave them. That's what I should have done. So I had all summer and up till now, I've had to engage killing practices for cancer stem cells. And there's hundreds of cancer stem cell killers. As far as nutrition there is. black cumin seeds, all sorts of modified citrus pectin, flax seeds ground up. There's tons of things that kill off cancer stem cells. Green tea even does it. And
Wow.
it's crazy. So if you take 20 of these things a day, which are actually taste pretty good, you're killing off a lot of stem cells. And why not just throw them all in a smoothie and be done with it?
There you go.
Yeah, so that's what I do. I have this mango smoothie every day that has 20, 25 cancer stem cell killers in them. And that has really helped my body too. But last summer, I basically spent a lot of time killing off stem cells and treating the areas of inflammation from the surgery. And it did that very successfully, and which has brought me into this fall and this spring with researching more cancer and healing centers down here. So that I can help other people and put it on my health network and everything. And so that's really what I'm doing right now, is doing a lot of research. And I'm writing a book, but I'm trying to get enough widespread information for a lot of health issues.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And so I have found several things in this research that is also helping me and helping other people. I've got probably a half a dozen people that I'm working with right now to help them out. But really an overall picture of this is you don't need to be scared of cancer. We all have cancer in our body. It's just a matter of, are you overwhelmed with it? Is your liver, is your immune system killing it off? Or do you have this trifecta of so many things that are wrong with your body that your body says, I quit.
Yeah.
I'm just going to let this take over. And that's how this evolved with me. Is, in 2009, I was poisoned. I was under immense stress for 7-8 years and didn't eat right, didn't take supplements, wasn't sleeping. Bam, look what came. So when people take care of your body, you really do need to take care of your body, because it will take care of you.
Well said.
Yeah, and it wants to heal. Your body is searching to be healed. It's begging to be healed. Yeah. And I had no idea until I started introducing different types of supplements and healthy food choices that your body just grabs onto it and goes. You know, just thank you. I love that supplement. I love magnesium, And so really a tremendous amount. And now it's just my period of time to share it with, as sharing information, because I'm not a doctor. But I'll tell you what, I've gone through a lot of doctors, and I've certainly listened to people that have had success with therapies over doctors really first. I'll go to doctors and I'll listen, but I want to know their success stories, and I want to talk to the people that have had success. And that to me carries a lot of weight.
It certainly does. It's so important to do your research and make sure that you dig down deep to find the true results and pick the path that's best for you, because going back, this is a business. Healthcare is a business, so it's sometimes can get convoluted on your best interest at heart. And there are so many ways that the Western medicine is there for us and support of us, and we need it. And I'm very grateful, because there are people in my life that wouldn't be here without it. And then at the same time, there's so much power in taking that responsibility to do your research, really find other people that are going through what you've gone through, or find the naturopaths that have those success stories to be able to accommodate you and help you on your journey. Because like you said, the body's powerful and it wants to heal. It wants to support you. You just need to create the environment in which it's available to do its job. And if it's bombarded with sleep deprivation and stress, and like you're saying, you're just getting hit so hard that your body does say, enough, I can't do it anymore. I can't fight all of these things and succeed. So you did it though. You're like, 4 to 6 months, and now you were told that was going to be your lifespan. And now it's how many years later, right?
Yeah, 3.5 years. Almost
Fantastic.
4.
And now you're writing a book, you're helping other people, and that's why I reached out to you. I wanted to capture a moment of your time recorded so we too can continue to reach out to people that maybe might not be in our inner network, that can come across this on the internet and listen for themselves. And then I'm going to be doing an article to link together with this and put also some links of some of the books that you've read and the place that you've gone for assistance that you've mentioned in our interview today, so people can also continue their due diligence. And of course, anybody is welcome to reach out to us. We're happy to connect with you. And as soon as your book comes out too, I will be more than happy to share the book with everybody else so they can grab it too and really get into the nitty gritty of your story, because the books go into way more detail than we're able to cover today, for sure.
One thing I wanted to address real quick is what Western medicine doesn't do for us is get to the root cause.
Yes.
And that in natural treatments, you have to get to the root cause of it. And so Western medicine tends to give you a drug, cover it up, make you feel better.
Yeah.
But you either stay on the drug for your whole life, which that tends to be what they would like you to do, or if you get off the drug, you go back to where you're at because you didn't get to the root cause. Yeah. And so what I am a real advocate of, and just really announce it, shout from the rooftops, is finding the root cause of whatever disease that you have, whatever's going on in your body. There is a root cause. And until you get to that, it doesn't matter what drug, what therapy, whatever you choose, you will not be cured. Or temporarily, like my tumor has shrunk, well, that means nothing to me. That just means that that's effective on that tumor. But what about the rest of the body? You know? Did you get all the lead out of your cells? Carcinogen. Did you get the black mold out of your house that you didn't know about? That could be you can reduce the stress, you know? You've got to get to that root cause, and you've got to know what it is and know that that root cause that you just found out is the root cause of what you have going on in your body. And until you do that, you will not be healed. You can't. It's impossible. And life will go back to where you started. You start all over again.
Yes.
So for me, whenever I go to a doctor, I say, this is the root cause of what started this. And they know that I've done research. I know what I'm talking about. And I go, I didn't eat right. I didn't sleep right. I didn't take supplements. I had a high amount of cortisol because I had massive stress in my life. And I had lawsuits going on, which is massive stress. I have none of those. All 5 of those are gone. And they go, great. Now let's move forward.
Yep.
So find out what your root cause is, and you will heal your body.
Yep. You've got a great starting point there. That is a perfect way to close out today. Start with the problem. Don't cover it up. If you want to change, and be ready, like we chatted on the phone beforehand, that draw that line in the sand where you're not ever going to go back and do the things that you did before, because they're going to welcome the dis-ease, the discomfort, and the problems back in. So you have to be willing to say, in order for me to live a long and healthy life, I'm never going back there again. I might slip once in a while. I'll take it, step by step, like you said, cleaning out your house of chemicals and anything that's toxic. Those little baby steps are putting you on that new path, but you've got to stay there. You can't go and break down and just buy Tide or whatever the other, laundry detergents are that have a lot of unfriendly ingredients in them because it's cheap. What is your life worth, right?
Right. Yes, very good. Very well put.
Well, Brenda, thank you so much for your time today. I think this is a good start. We can have some more interviews down the road and revisit your journey along the way, especially with the book. But I think there's some really good nuggets for people here. And once again, I'll include some links of some things that you brought up so people can read the article and see into more detail some of the things that you've done that have supported you on your pathway. So thank you so much for your time today. Is there anything you'd like to add in closing?
No, I think this is a great idea, and I appreciate the exposure and appreciate sharing the knowledge, because to me, that's so important now. When you know something that can help people, you got to get it out of your head. So I appreciate I appreciate you willing to do this.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I'm excited that you're here. I'm glad our paths even crossed in the relationship marketing world, in a very happy culture. At least you were starting off with that, because you got to surround yourself by people that will lift you up, and
Yes.
that's when we first connected. So I'm really glad that I know you and that you're here to tell your story. All right, I am going to sign off for now, so we will say goodbye. Thank you all so much. This is Brit-Simone with Organic Living Diva at organiclivingdiva.com, and we'll see you again.